Welcome to Terra Nil. Every wasteland reclamation project should start with a turbine. And now we have electricity to power our toxin scrubbers, to clean and renew the soil, irrigators to nurture the new grass. It all starts coming back in bits and pieces, in greens and blues and reds. We don't know what happened here, but thank goodness we have come. We have brought all the solutions we need. It's just a matter of putting it all together. All it takes is... And we have the Earth that should have been here all along, if not for... something. Am I alone in feeling that we were here once? That we are why this is? I wonder what happened here. It's a mystery.
We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
The climate disaster happened, and it was our fault. The world we could once call home is now left in ruins. We, however, have survived, and our technology has now progressed to the point where we can look to undo the damage we once did. Terra Nil is a fantastic twist on the city build genre, representing that core hope that I believe a lot of us have. Things can be better.
Terra Nil is often credited as one of the representative texts of the Solarpunk genre, a fledgling art movement beloved by some niche online circles, but still finding its identity. And as I said in my last video, I find Solarpunk compelling, if divided. My favorite, most optimistic, most desirable definition of Solarpunk comes from Stephen Gossett, writing for Built-In.
Solarpunk's aesthetic visualizes collectivist, ecological utopias where nature and technology grow in harmony. It centers ecological responsibility and the actionable practicality of what can be done in this moment. It also maintains a fundamentally do-it-yourself impulse, community-minded, self-sustaining, and more importantly, hopeful.
For a lot of players, hope is what Terra Nil has on offer.
Playing Terra Nil helped me find some peace.
Makes me feel hopeful in a hopeless world.
Restore nature, and with it, your hope for the future.
It is a meditation on what we, as a species, owe to our world.
Lush and hopeful.
Things can be better.
Hopeful. Hopeful? Hopeful. What is hope to me? Gross, that's a big question. Anyway, moving on. Terra Nil is, as it says about itself, a reverse city builder. For those players sick of games about heavy-handed human intervention, shaping a landscape to your personal whim. Terra Nil does give me something different from traditional city builders. The gorgeous wish fulfillment of creating a vast network of forests and ecosystems and packing everything up at the end to let it go on, untended, unobserved, self-sufficient.
Healing landscapes across Earth's biomes is the ultimate comfort fantasy, especially amid a sea of games premised on destruction and dominion.
But, I mean, here's the thing. Aesthetics aside, Terra Nil is strategically compelling in the same way all city builders, all terraforming games are. These games are so tantalizing because they allow you to fulfill our hopes without the compromise and patience and deliberation required to work slowly and with others. We can act unilaterally. We can see our changes rendered dramatically in mere moments. It presents us with a clear, uncomplicated canvas. I mean, look at this place. It sucks. Every inch of world is fair game for upheaval. Nothing to work around or to preserve. This is a world so clearly dead-ended, valueless, ripe with potential that only we can activate. We, singular. You, alone. But even accepting the limitations of single-player games, I played with a pit in my stomach, which deepened and widened as I read the reviews and felt the gap between myself and others grow. Why, I wondered? Why do they keep using that word? Hopeful.
With Terra Nil, we hope to inspire some hope in players and their ability to feel like they can make a difference, said Alfred, one of the game's developers. Even if the way we do that is just a video game fantasy. It is important to us to show players a world to be hopeful for, and to avoid pushing them further into apathy or resignation.
Hopeful? Hopeful? Why are they talking like this game represents anything other than the apocalypse?
Developer Free Live spreads a clear message. Saving the planet could be so easy if we wanted it to be.
This is ultimately a hopeful game. It suggests that the continual problems we have managing our Earth can be solved.
It's a game for this era of climate anxiety.
I don't know how we can save this
We
planet,
might not be able to save this planet,
but it's nice to imagine that one day it could be restored.
Terra Nil represents what we aren't able to imagine ourselves doing. Achieving a sustainable balance between humans and the rest of this planet before it's too late. This is, for some people, an image of hope.
Helped me find some peace.
Makes me feel hopeful in a hopeless
And
world.
with it, your hope for the
what
future.
we, as a species, owe to our world.
Things can be better.
But it just reminds me of everything I can't stand to lose. Terra Nil sits at one edge of what this version of the future is, and what I desperately want it not to be. I hope you'll forgive me using it as a counterexample, to explore the power that future dreaming has, and why I don't personally find comfort in this. Most of the works beloved by the Solarpunk community are set far in the future because that's the solar part, right? This beautiful vision of harmony between technology, people, and nature feels contingent on so many faraway, unfulfilled things. This vision of Solarpunk abstracts away how we get there. But that's fine, right? We need images of how beautiful it will be when we do get there to motivate us to steer in the right direction. Thing is, in the world of Terra Nil, we didn't get there. I guess there's something beautiful in the idea that even if we ruin everything, something is bound to rise again. Maybe our faraway descendants will be involved, rebuilding from the wreckage once we've fucked everything up. I can't play this game and think of anything other than the middle years. I don't know how to turn my brain off to play a relaxing strategy game about a world where everyone is dead. I can't roleplay the apocalypse and call it hopeful. I don't blame most of our future dreaming art for starting with the end of the world. That's where our imagination can run free. Maybe sometimes we genuinely can't imagine a future, even a hopeful future, that is predicated on anything less than total systemic collapse. After all, as they say, it's easier to imagine the end of the world than the end of capitalism. Achieving a future in the style of Solarpunk, be it this, or this, or this, or this, requires imagining the end of so many systems and values that feel immutable to us now. So how better to unlock our imaginations than to see those values and systems to their inevitable conclusion? It all explodes. And then we start when there is no farther down we can go.
I don't know how we can save this planet,
we might not be able to save this planet,
but it's nice to imagine that one day...
Terra Nil seems reminiscent of how some people seem to hope technology will fix the climate crisis. Once we can invent our toxin scrubbers, and invent our river carvers, and invent our grass tornadoes, then we'll have the tools we need.
Technology is the solution, proposes Terra Nil, and offloading the responsibility of resolving social ills to expertise and the promise of future technology is tempting.
See, the escapist gets what I'm feeling. You and me, Damien Lowe, or fuck. But waiting on future technology is passing the buck. It's waiting for permission to start improving things now. It makes sense for us to be seeking that permission from some authority, like the authority of government, or the authority of so-called genius, because we feel so disempowered now. Terra Nil is role-playing the fantasy that someone figured it out. That there is an authority who wrote the guide and who has thought of everything and who already invented everything we need. And if you just put it together just right, in the blink of an eye, all of our problems will be solved. It frames current inaction as being part of a larger, inevitable success story. But there's hope that makes me want to act, and then there's hope that makes me want to wait. It takes a complicated process fully out of our hands. No messiness. God/Dad/Tony Stark has this covered. The rest of us can take 5.
Developer Free Live spreads a clear message. Saving the planet could be so easy if we wanted it to be. All that's missing is a toxin scrubber.
A piece of technology that doesn't exist. What do you mean could be so easy if we wanted it to be? We don't have toxin scrubbers. Do you think that's a failure of desire? Of willpower? Is that really all that's missing? We just need to wait for that and then voila. If I just wait, everything will turn out okay. This is an annoying tech industry talking point. Look, the future! It's right over there! Full steam ahead, can't use what we already have to make anything better right now. It will get better. We just have to get to the future first. We can have better working conditions. We can have UBI. Everyone can have the best, most advanced robot healthcare. We can have work-life balance. And that's why right now we need everyone to be poor and working as hard as fucking possible. So that someday we can achieve a future where we all prosper. You know, someday. As soon as.
This is a Musk quote. Humanoid robots will uncork the economy to quasi-infinite levels. The well-known concept of quasi-infinity, folks. Musk says, this means a future of abundance, a future where there is no poverty. What? We can afford to have a universal basic income.
Wouldn't a robot do the opposite?
You're listening to Jesus Christ himself speak, okay? Show some respect.
All these assholes do is subject us to their ketamine-fueled future dreaming exercises on Joe Rogan and on Twitter. But they are not the people they think they are. And I hope more people realize that. They are not the person who will write the guide. That person doesn't and will never exist.
His entire role in public life now is making poverty worse. He's like cutting fucking food stamps. So whenever these guys are like, we can solve poverty, we'll solve poverty now, bitch!
Just because he cut USAID and killed 10 million people doesn't mean that his dream of robot butlers that do surgery is not real, Michael.
This is again the vision thing. He's promising a vision like, I'm about to become a good person.
Once my mass murder spree is over, you'll all see how nice I am.
What would you even do with a robot butler?
None of this is in Terra Nil, but this was the thought spiral I went down as soon as I opened the game for the first time. As soon as I placed that first toxin scrubber, staring down from space, airdropping Tony Stark solutions to resuscitate the corpse of the Earth. As soon as I read those reviews that make me feel like an alien, hopeful, hopeful. It's okay that we did this. Some other someone will undo it. Tech Jesus will rise, and then in the grand scheme of the universe... what? Imagining the future as a place just over there, moving the goalposts again and again, is another way to engender complacency. To ask us to wait for some future set of circumstances brought about by so-called geniuses, or by technologies we're waiting to come into existence, or by the concept of time itself, or by another planet entirely. To me, this feels like hope predicated on total hopelessness. Hopeless hope. It's Mars colony hope? Am I the only person who doesn't see it as a hopeful prospect to terraform a barren, waterless, plantsless, stormy, inhospitable wasteland into an eventual paradise just in case humans do fucking nothing to steward this actual goddamn paradise we have right now? Sure, some people want to go to Mars because it's cool to think of humans in space. But every time I hear a Mars colony proposed as a solution to climate change, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why do we want to turn Mars into Earth? We've already got Earth. Even if we fuck up so bad that Earth becomes Mars, then we'll be starting from the same inhospitable wasteland, but it isn't 140 million miles away.
Welcome to humanity's new beginning, where equality meets innovation.
Oh God, not
Here,
one of these.
prosperity is collective and every harvest is shared.
Wait, we can do that here.
Under Elon Musk's visionary
God,
leadership,
are you serious?
unity drives progress. Leisure and work balance.
We can do that here.
Equality extends to all.
We can do that here.
As together we
You
redefine
can build
civilization.
biodomes
Mars Biodome.
here.
Join us, where we thrive equally together.
Wouldn't it be easier to just develop sustainable practices on Earth? Whether it's biodomes and hazmat suits on Mars or terraforming a ruined future Earth, I do think it's insidious to call these scenarios hopeful, because we're changing the criteria we use to grade our outcomes. If we evacuate 2,000 lucky billionaires to a Mars colony and someday their progeny return to play the ruined Earth like a sandbox, I would not call that hopeful. It's not optimistic to me purely to say that the human race survived. It's not about the human race, it's the humans of the human race. Whether we all die or 500 of us survive, those aren't dramatically different outcomes to me. One isn't a failure and the other a success purely because the human race continues on. That's not my heuristic any more than this is my Solarpunk. This isn't fucking Interstellar. Human lives have value. I care if human beings survive and thrive and enjoy life. I care about suffering and joy, not just if there are humans somewhere in space. I get it. It is hard to stay hopeful right now. I know we're overwhelmed because so much needs to change. But I challenge you to look around and see not only all the problems, but all the opportunities. Anything you can touch is something you can make better. That's kind of exciting. Things aren't bad enough now that there's only up to go. But there's a lot of up to go. And I get this blank slate fantasy. On a ruined Earth, on Mars, we don't need to think about the complicated work of painting on an already busy canvas with billions of hands holding the brush. And 20 of those hands holding so tightly, and we don't know how to make them let go, and they have horrible taste, and they're making everything worse. But building our future isn't going to come from one person dropping magical solutions from the sky. As nice as that would be, It'll take many, many people doing things that are small and that don't feel like a lot on their own, and that make your friends go, "Why are you doing this? This isn't a toxin scrubber. This won't fix everything. This isn't big, sweeping, unilateral action. This won't change anything on its own." But that's the point. We don't change anything on our own. Take all of this as me staking my claim in a conversation about what I want to see art inspiring me to do. Not to wait, but to work. Technology will play a role in improving the future of our species, and a game like Terra Nil can inspire real change. Maybe a game like this reminds us of what we want to see in the world, keeps that spark alive. Or maybe... You know how paleontology popped off after Jurassic Park? Maybe a kid, or hell, an adult, or you, gets interested in ecosystem restoration and goes on to learn about real strategies like rotational grazing, living shorelines, reforestation, rain gardens, pollinator gardens. Art can show us what we want to have before we ourselves even know that we want it. Maybe someone plays Terra Nil and gets inspired to create the solutions we need. Maybe. But also, who is that person? And are we gonna wait for them? If that toxin scrubber hasn't been invented, are you gonna wait until it is? Or are you gonna work with what we have now, with the people around you, to do the best you can? Anyway, I guess if this is the hope you need, let Terra Nil give it to you. But I can't take anything from it. Welcome to Planet Earth. Every wasteland reclamation project should start by believing the wasteland can be reclaimed. Every wasteland reclamation project should start before there is a wasteland at all.